Welcome back to News Tonight. Now, India is today the hottest education destination for US universities for partnerships. Over 100 universities have sent their teams to India to negotiate partnerships with Indian educational institutions in just the last year.
Extraordinary leadership that Prime Minister Singh has provided as India rises as a world power, not just a regional power, that it also has.
And joining us live right now is the Deputy Chief of U.S. Mission in India, Stephen J. White. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show. Now, you have spoken about the U.S. universities considering India as the next hotspot for partnership. Can you tell us more about that?
No, absolutely. I think that the success of the U.S. India Educational Foundation has been huge. It's a 60-year-old organization this year, I believe. They've been doing Fulbright scholarships and other exchanges with students from India to the United States, from the United States to India now for the last, well, as I said, 60 years. The exciting thing is in the last few years, I think it was last year, we have now joined with the Indians on what is now called the Fulbright Nehru scholarship, which means that our Fulbright program is now joined. It is jointly funded by both the Indian government and the American government, and in the coming year we expect to send 160 Indians to the United States under Fulbright and 160 Americans. The USIEF is also engaged in educational exchanges in a lot of other different ways. I think the most important one is that Indian students who are interested in going to the United States can come to our USIEF offices at our embassy and our various consulates and learn everything they need to learn about going to the United States and being a student there and applying for schools and what the various requirements are for that. So it's an extremely important organization, I think, not only to help Indian students who are interested in going to America, but also to build relationships between the United States and India. A third thing that the USIEF does is work to build institutional relationships between American universities and universities in India. And that's something that's growing in leaps and bounds, as you know. We have had in the last year over 100 American universities send teams out here to India to talk to the Indians and talk to us about how they might be able to partner with Indian higher education institutes in ways that will expand opportunities for education here in India and in the United States. So we're very, very excited about that. Another thing we're excited about is the new Obama-Singh initiative, which is a $10 billion fund that both President Obama and Prime Minister Singh have initiated, which will look for ways to partner on community, community schools, things of that nature, not necessarily the higher level of institutions, but junior colleges. And so we're very excited about that, and we hope to see that get off the ground very soon.
Right. Now, you've also announced that the President, Barack Obama, will be visiting India next year. Any chances on his visit to Chennai during this time? Also, there are rumors that the President would be visiting Lankan refugee camps while in India. Is that true?
Well, I can't speculate on where he's going yet. That's still in the planning stages, but I do know that the President has expressed to the Prime Minister how very excited he is about coming to India this year. I understand that the other day at the White House he mentioned that he would be coming with his wife as well. So it's still in the planning stages. There's a lot of details still to be worked out, but you'll be the first to know as soon as we have more detail.
All right. Thanks very much indeed, Mr. White, for joining us this evening on News Tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Now on to some national news. A nationwide shutdown has been called on the 5th of July by the left parties to protest against the fuel price hike. The party leaders met in Delhi this morning.
I do not know about Mamta ji.
Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu-based parties including the AIADMK, CPI, CPM and the MDMK have issued a joint statement expressing support for the protest. AIADMK General Secretary Jayalalitha has announced that her party will lead the protest in the state. They have also called for public support for the general strike, as the fuel price hike is expected to take a toll on the prices of essential commodities. The leaders from such parties such as Indian National League, All India Forward Bloc and Movendar Munani Karagam condemned the ruling DMK for not speaking up against the hike. Now, as the Chennai police comes down heavily on rave parties and drug users, the enterprising ones are finding newer and ingenious ways to fuel their drug frenzy. The new destination for users and partygoers is the World Wide Web, where drugs are available very easily and shipped securely. Everything from LSD to cocaine to ecstasy to even ketamine that's so often busted in Chennai. This has left the cops to now devise ways of tackling this new challenge, the challenge of stopping dangerous internet dope from flooding Singar, Chennai.
We're gonna have a hot time.
At a rave party on Chennai's East Coast Road, youngsters under the influence of drugs dancing the night away to the beats of a Russian DJ. Similar scenes at another bash in the city not long ago. Adrenaline pumping drugs and foot stomping high BPM music. Mercifully, these are not too common in Chennai because the police claim to have been monitoring the party drug scene.
Don't get hard drugs nowadays, and even what little is brought in, it will be sort of adulterated, mixed with a lot of other substances and made to appear as a hardcore drug. So peddling is very few. I don't think there's any peddling as far as Chennai city is concerned in terms of hard drugs.
But look at this and you will realize how the Chennai police is being outwitted by desperate drug users. On the internet, order any drugs, from ecstasy to LSD to herbal cocaine to even MDMA. And here's proof. This bottle called Rave contains 20 pills of ecstasy and can be shipped from London at a price of just £20. Then look at this pink bottle called Coke N, advertising itself as a legal alternative to cocaine but containing similar laboratory chemicals. And this one called Explode, billed as an alternative to drugs like ketamine, for which Chennai has emerged as a major transit point. What's more surprising is the ease with which they can be ordered, even at discounted rates. Shipping is done in a week.
We have not had any instance of ketamine abuse in Chennai so far. But whereas its movement towards Southeast Asia is quite increased, and I think almost all the agents are doing a good job on that.
But is that an illusion? Considering the online trade of hardcore drugs that often goes undetected, not only is the Chennai police worried, police departments across the world are now thinking of ways to curb the proliferation of internet trade in Class A drugs. But while the police grope for a solution, the racket goes on with impunity. Even if the streets of Chennai have been mopped clean of party drugs, it's the internet that partygoers are logging into for their next surreptitious bash on East Coast Road. Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu.
Well, still ahead on the bulletin, it may be India's national game, but the game of hockey is in quite a miserable state in our country. That and all the sports news coming up on the other side.